Hello, in today's episode we will review all the uses, all the meanings and all the forms of var and yok that we covered up to this point. I thought we could benefit from some sort of a summary episode where you can find all the meanings and the uses and the forms of var and yok. So shall we start? I'm going to start from the meaning of var and yok. Remember, we use var for positive statements and yok for negative statements. Var and yok has two meanings. One is there is, there are, which is var, or there isn't or aren't, which is yok. And the other meaning, the second meaning is have got, has got, which is var, or haven't got, hasn't got, which is yok. Okay, so let's start from there is, there isn't. Okay, remember we studied this. We have a living room. So there is a resim, koltuk, sehpa. But there isn't a televizyon or ayna. Right, so this is what we're gonna say. There is a sofa, a coffee table, and a picture in my room, but there isn't a television or a mirror. So this is how we say it in Turkish. Odamda bir koltuk, bir sehpa ve bir resim var ama bir televizyon veya bir ayna yok. As you see, the sentence starts with a position, a place, which is odamda, which means in my room. And the sentence ends with a var or yok, and we list the items in the middle. So in this case, we have bir koltuk, bir sehpa ve bir resim, or bir televizyon veya ayna. So let's take a look at another context that we can use var and yok. And this is my çanta. So inside the çanta there is kalem, actually iki kalem, defter, but there isn't a cep telefonu. So this is what I'm gonna say. There is a notebook and two pens in my bag, but there isn't a mobile phone. And this is how we say it in Turkish. Çantamda bir defter ve iki kalem var ama bir cep telefonu yok. Again, the sentence starts with a position, a place, which is çantamda, which means in my bag, and ends with var or yok. And we list the items in the middle, like bir defter ve iki kalem or bir cep telefonu. I want to draw your attention to iki kalem. We don't say iki kalemler. We don't make kalem plural. We still say iki kalem, so kalem is in singular form. Let's take a look at another context that we studied var and yok. Okay, we have this woman and she's wearing a kırmızı bir elbise. Okay, this is what we're gonna say. There is a red dress on her. And this is how we say it in Turkish. Onun üstünde kırmızı bir elbise var. Again, the sentence starts with a position and a place. Yeah? In this case, it is onun üstünde, which means on her, and ends with var. And then in the middle, we have the item, kırmızı bir elbise. So let's analyze the sentences and let's take a look at the structure a bit closer. So I put all the sentences here that we studied. Okay. So what do you notice? So as you see, all the sentences start with a position or a place, like we discussed this before. So it can be odamda, çantamda, okulda, evde, and ends with var or yok. And in the middle we have noun or adjective and noun, like bir koltuk, 2 kalem, güzel bir resim, kırmızı bir elbise. Okay, let's take a look at the other use, other meaning, other form of var and yok, which is have got, has got, or haven't got, hasn't got. So we have this picture. So what has he got? He has got araba, para. However, he hasn't got iş. Okay, and this is what he's gonna say. He's gonna talk about himself. I have got a beautiful car and a lot of money, but I haven't got a job. So this is how you say it in Turkish. Benim güzel bir arabam ve çok param var ama bir işim yok. If you have noticed, then this time the sentence starts with a possessive adjective like benim, senin, onun, bizim, sizin, onların. And then ends with var or yok. And in the middle we list the items. But the items, the noun takes the ending for possessive adjective. So benim arabam, benim param, or benim işim. Let's take a look at another context. Okay, we have this woman in the middle. What has she got? So she has got 2 kız kardeş, 2 kız kardeş. But she hasn't got an erkek kardeş, younger brother. So this is what she's gonna say. I have got 2 younger sisters, but I haven't got a younger brother. This is how you say it in Turkish. Benim 2 kız kardeşim var ama bir erkek kardeşim yok. Again, the sentence starts with a possessive adjective like benim, and then ends with var and yok. And in the middle, we list the items, but don't forget to put the ending for the possessive adjective. In this case, kardeş, kardeşim. We have another context where we can use var and yok. Remember, we studied this one. So we're gonna describe her. So this is what we're gonna say. She has got long, wavy and yellow hair. So if you remember, long is uzun, wavy is dalgalı, yellow is sarı. And this is how we translate it into Turkish. Onun uzun, dalgalı ve sarı saçları var. Again, the sentence starts with possessive adjective, onun, and then ends with var. And in the middle, we have adjectives and a noun. Right? Uzun, dalgalı ve sarı saçları. Remember, saç is in plural form, saçlar. And we have the ending ı for onun. Okay, another context that we studied. So she's quite ill and she has got a bit of temperature. This is what we're gonna say. So a bit of, if you remember, is biraz. Temperature is ateş. So how do you say that in Turkish? Onun biraz ateşi var. Again, the sentence starts with onun, which is a possessive adjective, ends with var, and in the middle we have the item. In this case, it is biraz ateş. And don't forget to put the ending for onun is i. So biraz ateşi var. Okay, let's analyze the sentences, this structure, this form, this meaning a bit further. So I put all the sentences here. Right, so we start all the sentences with a possessive adjective. Benim, benim, onun, onun. And the sentence ends with var or yok, depends on the situation, what you want to say. If you want to say have got, has got, we use var. If you want to say haven't got, hasn't got, then we use yok. And in the middle, we have noun or nouning adjective. Like bir erkek kardeş, 2 kız kardeş, güzel bir araba, çok para, uzun saçlar, mavi gözler. Okay, so let's summarize these 2 uses, forms and meanings. Okay, so like we have discussed, var and yok might mean there is or isn't, or there are or aren't. In this case, the sentences will start with a position or a place, ends with var yok, and in the middle you're gonna list the items. Like in this one, odamda bir koltuk var ama bir televizyon yok. So if you want to say have got, has got, or haven't got, hasn't got, then the sentence is going to start with a possessive adjective, ends with var yok, And in the middle, you're gonna list the items. Like in this example, benim 2 kız kardeşim var ama bir erkek kardeşim yok. Don't forget to add the ending for the possessive adjective. So in this case, it's benim. So kardeş becomes kardeşim. Before we practice any further, I just want to go over the word order in Turkish. Remember, we list the items in the middle. But how do we list them? What is the order? So let's talk about this a bit. Okay, please remember that nouns are usually in singular form in Turkish. So when we say bir, iki, üç, the noun is always singular. Like these examples, bir araba, iki araba, bir cep telefonu, üç cep telefonu. And when we need an adjective, and if we have bir, adjective precedes everything. However, if we want to use other than number 1, then the number precedes everything, like these examples. So büyük bir araba, but iki güzel araba. Pahalı bir cep telefonu, but üç pahalı cep telefonu. You see how the number changes everything. So if you're ready, we're gonna create sentences, putting everything that we have studied in use. Okay, so this is what we're gonna say. There is a big carpet in my room, but there isn't a sofa. So how do we say that in Turkish? So I'm giving you some time. You can pause here. You can try yourself first, and then I'm going to give you the answer in a second. Are you ready? So as you see, we have there is and there isn't. So we're going to use var and yok. So I'm going to use var and yok at the end of the sentence. And the beginning of the sentence is going to be in my room. So how do I say in my room? So room is oda. My room is benim odam. So we add the noun ending for benim odam. And then I'm going to say in my room. So I need de or da. And the last vowel is a. So I'm going to use da. So it becomes benim odamda. So our sentence is going to start with benim odamda, ends with var, and I need ama, and then another sentence, it will finish with yok. And in the middle, I'm going to list the items. So what do we have here? A big carpet. So how do I say a big carpet? Carpet is halı. And then I'm going to say a big carpet. So büyük bir halı. Number is in the middle. Adjective is at the beginning. And what is the other item? A sofa. And that is bir koltuk. So let's put them in the right place. Benim odamda büyük bir halı var ama bir koltuk yok. Okay, let's take a look at the other sentence that we're going to work on. That is, I have got 2 expensive mobile phones. Again, you can pause here and you can work on the sentence by yourself, and I'm going to give the answers in a second and we're going to do it together. Are you ready? So the sentence starts with I have got. So we have to find the possessive adjective for I. And possessive adjective for I is benim. So the sentence is going to start with benim and it's going to end with var because we say have got. And in the middle we're going to list the items. So what do we have here? We have 2 expensive mobile phones. Now how do we say that? We have to remember the word order. So mobile phone is cep telefonu. 2 mobile phones is iki cep telefonu. Remember, we don't make it plural. And then I'm going to say 2 expensive mobile phones. So if you remember, the number is going to precede everything and an adjective. So iki pahalı cep telefonu. But we're not done yet because I have to say my iki pahalı cep telefonu. So I need word ending for my, benim. That is im. So it becomes iki pahalı cep telefonum. So then the sentence will be benim iki pahalı cep telefonum var. Well done, you're doing great. That's all for now. Please don't quit. I will see you next time. Please take good care of yourself. Bye bye.